Hello again from my front porch. It has been a few days since I did one of these. I've actually been kind of busy and I'm still very busy. In fact, today I'm supposed to be focused on doing work, and for the most part I have been doing that, although I'm taking a little break to do this. In fact, I debated whether I would take a little break to do this, but I thought, no, I really need to do this for a couple of reasons. One, just so y'all knew I'm still alive, because apparently there are some people that are worried about me because I also haven't been out doing social things and really haven't been doing a lot online either. And so I've had friends who've been reaching out and saying, hey, I haven't heard or seen from you in a while. Are you doing okay? Is everything all right? And so here, just in case any of you viewers were wondering the same thing, here I am. I am still here. Got several things going on. I got stuff going on, the stuff with my uncle. I got work stuff. Those two things alone weighing pretty heavily because, my uncle, he's now moved from the hospital into hospice. Sadly, we all know what that means, and so there is the emotions of that, and I try to go visit him as much as I can and spend time with him as he's in his final days, that drains you some. But I also have been focused on trying to be a support for my family, my immediate family and extended family as well, because that's what I do. There was a time where I kind of resisted that. I resented always having to, everybody's always trying to call Paul or needs Paul. Well, now I've matured more, and I recognize that, it's actually an honor to be thought of in the way that somebody would say, I kind of like just opening up to you, Paul. I like the way that you listen and that you support and things like that. And so I've come more to embrace that. I jokingly say that I'm the Dr. Phil for my family, but it really is an honor to be thought of in that way. But that takes its toll too. As I'm working to try to support and be of comfort to my family, to my mom, who's watching her brother in this condition. Even hosted my mom here for several nights at my house, which that just further was distraction from the work I needed to be doing. But see, now here's an interesting thing. Here's an interesting situation. I make choices. I make a choice to do this job that I'm doing, that I love doing, and the work that I'm doing right now is very important, and I've been doing it, for the 6 months or so since they hired me, or 8 months now, whatever it is, and now this week coming up, I do a presentation for over 2 days. I'll be presenting and revealing all of this content that we're going to be doing in this training to leaders of the company, and getting their input and their buy-in and their feedback. And so it's kind of a high ticket kind of discussion. So I've been preparing for that. Well, then along comes this thing with my uncle, and now I am distracted from being able to do the work stuff because I'm spending time with my uncle as much as I can. And even when I'm not there, I'm exchanging messages with family members, or I'm on the phone with family members, and doing that kind of stuff. And then my mom is here so that she can be closer and can could visit with him several days in a row. And not only am I helping to shuttle her there and back and making sure that she's all taken care of, but when she's here, obviously we're talking and we're somewhat engaged at different times, and that's not a bad thing either. In fact, I value those moments. They're very precious, and I want to hold on to them. But now I've got competing things. I've got the work thing that's important to me. I've got the uncle thing that's important to me. Got the mom thing and the supporting family thing that's important to me, and all of it is competing for my time and my attention. And even though none of those things none of my choices in those things are bad. What's happening with my uncle, obviously that's not a good thing. But my choice to want to be there to visit with him, that's a good thing. My choice to be there for my family and to even host my mom here and all that stuff, that's a good thing. And my choice to take on this job that stretches me and challenges me and gives me opportunities to be creative and do new things, that's a good thing. The fact that all of them have come together at the same time, not such a good thing. And so it really creates a drain on me, not just on my time, not just on my attention and my focus, but I mean emotionally and spiritually. I mean it all weighs you down. And we all have those situations. Not an exact scenario like I'm just describing here, but we all have those times when it feels like you've stopped and the sky opens up and just pours baggage on you, just dumps on you mountain of life crap, that just buries you, and we're like, I can't take anymore. We all experience those times, and I've been trying to keep aware of how I respond in this situation, how I react to others. Because when we are in this scenario that I'm in right now, where we feel very stretched, very, very stretched, and there's stress, and there's anxiety, and there's, all the other emotions that go along with that, it is then very easy for us to let that become something that festers inside us, and then something else external happens. Somebody does something, somebody says something, and it's like someone takes a match and lights the powder keg, and all of a sudden, boom, there comes this response that just seems disproportionate to whatever's happening, but maybe even out of character for us. And oftentimes that moment, that explosion, isn't even what we actually are upset about. It's not the frustration. It's something else. Like, for example, this situation with my uncle. I know that a lot of us feel very helpless and even angry about the scenario he's in. This guy has been our family's Chuck Norris. I mean, Mr. Tough Guy. That's who he's been his whole life. And now he's not. Now he's fading fast right before our eyes, and that's tough. And we all want to do something to help him. We want to do something to make it better. We want to do something. We want to find that secret solution that will just somehow magically make him go boom. He's back in health, and he's back up to being Uncle Jim. Yeah. But we all know that's not going to happen this time. And that helplessness, that can be something that just really just eats at you. And cancer is a faceless enemy that we can't attack. We can't grab it by the collar and say, stop this, make him better. And so instead, it's easy to let this kind of thing build up inside and then lash out, either at other people, other events, just in other ways. And again, all of us deal with this, and not just in a situation of a relative or family member who's in this situation that my uncle is, but just in life in general. When we get overwhelmed, when we get buried under the things of life, it's easy to be in this position. And that's when we have to check ourselves. We have to guard against how we react to others around us. And that's, I like to think, one of the other things that I bring to the mix. Why I take seriously my role at being that Dr. Phil, whatever, for my family, is because not only am I sympathetic and will listen, but even when someone lashes out at me, even when someone tries to take it out on me, I try to stop and think, okay, what is really going on here? Now, I don't always, again, I'm human, but in general, I try to step back and say, okay, they're saying this, they're doing this, but I think what's really going on is, and that allows me to be able to, not be offended, or to not stay offended even, to be able to forgive quickly and move on and still embrace the person that does that. And see, to me, that's not that big a deal, honestly. And it's just like, that's what you do. But increasingly, I find that no, that's not what a lot of people do. And it's actually difficult for some people to understand. They say, how can you still be friends with that person? How can you still be talking to that person after what they did, after what they said, after, it's how I'm wired. I'm able to do that. I'm able to move on. I'm able to understand, okay, this is what was done, but this is what was really going on, and my relationship with that person is more important than whatever this was, and so I'm still going to be there for them. I'm still going to be their friend, and because of that, I'm still friends with a number of people who, at one time or another, have done or said things that would pretty much nuke the bridge for a lot of relationships. But I don't know. I guess I'm stubborn. I just don't know when to quit, when to give up, and I'm okay with that too. Anyway, I'm rambling a bit, and that's not my intent. But my intent with this one, well, again, just to say, hey, I'm alive. I'm still here. But really, I was thinking about how weighted down I feel right now, how drained I feel, how I could just go in and I could sit down in the chair here in my living room, and whether I probably could just fall asleep and sleep all afternoon. But even if I didn't do that, I could turn on the TV and I could just veg and I could just do nothing, and it would be amazing, and I would be okay with that, except I can't because I have responsibilities based on these things that I've chosen to do. I've done this to myself. Now, I could be somebody who doesn't take a job that challenges them, but that's not who I am. I could be somebody who doesn't worry about his uncle who is in the final stage of his life, but that's not who I am. I could be somebody who doesn't worry about being there to support their family, but again, that's most definitely not who I am. And so, there are people that are that way. Not me. That's not who I am. And so, by my choices, my own choices, this situation now exists where I'm feeling all this being pulled in different directions and feeling my battery drained down. And I am then also choosing to not let it do me in, to not let it be the thing that cripples me, and to not then take it out on other people, to not lash out at others, to not lay the burden at somebody else's feet. This is my responsibility. I take ownership of my life, and I do what needs done. And that's, while it may be stressful, it may be tiring, it may be exhausting, that is the healthiest attitude any of us can have. Taking ownership of our own lives, especially in times of stress like this. I will be so glad when this next week is over. So very glad. And I look forward to that for sure. But there's a lot of work to get there. And I can't cut corners now. I gotta see it through to the home stretch. So, time for me to get back to that. Get back into the race and get myself worked up for that. Sadly, I won't be seeing my uncle today because I do need to focus on that. I was this work stuff really theoretically should have already been done. I shouldn't even be doing it this weekend, but because of all of the visits with my uncle and my mom and having all the things going on, I wasn't able to focus as much on those things. And so again, those were my choices. And now I'm having to play catch up over the weekend here. And that's just the way it is. So I need to get back and get that done, get it all wrapped up, see it through to the end, and make sure that nobody else pays a price for my choices. And I encourage you all, no matter what situations you face in life, don't make anyone else pay for yours. But also don't feel like you have to face the stress of life alone. I guarantee you there are people around you who are more than happy to help support you during those times. I know that for a fact because at the very, very least, you're watching this, which means you and I are connected in some way, and I'm always willing to listen. I'm always willing to help, which I know just stretches me farther. But that's my choice, and I can live with that. So, with that, I'm going to get back to work. I'll let you all go. I'll see you all next time from my front porch.